What's up, my freaky dickies? Jammo Rising here, and I just watched Cocaine Bear. This kept getting recommended to me as a fun B-movie by people who I don't think really understand what fun B-movies are and don't really exist in that world. You know, the kind of people who will watch like Sharknado and think it's ooh wacky, but listen up, Buttercup. I'm a lifelong veteran of schlock. If you're not coming to the table with something on par with Frankenhooker, Reanimator, or the Toxic Avenger, I'm kinda hard to impress in this realm. I was of course aware of this movie and figured it was more along the lines of the aforementioned Sharknado. Some intentionally bad garbage plopped out by a studio because it will appeal to the TikTok generation, or people who wear Yeezys. In short, I thought it would be insufferable, but I figured what the hey, let's give it a shot. And it was fine, actually. Not good, not terrible, but I was moderately entertained and couldn't really hate it. The story is about a bear who finds a load of cocaine in the woods, eats it, and murders a cast of wacky characters. And whatever, you don't care about the plot. The first half of the movie is just pretty standard, setting up the characters and why they're in the woods, with plenty of dialogue that I'm sure is funny to somebody out there, but that somebody wasn't me. It's not all bad, but I think the jokes landed like 30% of the time. It's certainly not a pinnacle of smart storytelling or imaginative filmmaking for that matter, but it gets the job done, and I've certainly seen worse. So the whole thing is played for laughs mostly, in case you were wondering, but there were splashes of hyperviolence that actually went further than I was expecting. And those are the moments that worked for me, when the bear's ripping off limbs and going rampage mode, and I liked how it would get all lethargic sometimes, only to wake up in a frothing frenzy whenever a sniff of the white stuff was in the air. It was very Popeye, chowing down on spinach, and it kept me moderately entertained for the thankfully brief 90-minute runtime. On the topic of the bear, however, I have to question some key decisions as to its implementation. For one, it is of course CGI. It's not Sharknado terrible, this movie was bankrolled by a real studio and there is some budget, but man, it does not look realistic. This would be more of a problem if the movie weren't a comedy, but the schlockmeister in me really wished they had used practical effects. Not a real bear, of course, that would have been problematic for a galaxy of reasons, but I think the film might actually have been kinda brilliant if they used animatronics and puppets and stuff. I mean, picture this, a big bear puppet, or even better, a stop motion monster like the rat monkey in Dead Alive, huff and blow and murdering civilians. That would have been entertaining as hell. Cocaine Bear also breaks the cardinal rule of monster movies, which is showing your creature too soon. You want to build a little tension first for the audience, and reveal the bear in a choice shot at the appropriate moment. But instead it's just roaming around in all of its CGI unreality pretty much from the get-go, and that deflates any potential tension. They also lean way too hard into acknowledging the premise way too often. Yeah, I get it, it's a bear on cocaine and that's so wacky, but after the 50th time someone says, "Oh my god, a bear on cocaine," I was like, yeah, okay, turn it down, Slick, we get it. But all of this goes back to the point about this movie being made for teenagers or just general audiences and not for people who genuinely enjoy B-movies. However, when all is said and done, I have to give it points for not being too annoying and to bring it back that gore, which was actually pretty good. I let out a few solid demented chuckles when the bloodshed reached cartoonish levels, and I mean, that's really all I wanted out of this anyway, so I'm just glad it wasn't terrible. And you get to see the final performance of the great Ray Liotta, who took a brief respite from his mountain of cheeseburgers to play a drug dealer with a hunting rifle. So that's a plus, I guess? I don't know. Rippin' pepperoni, you legend. So, recommendation time. Should you watch Cocaine Bear? I don't know or care, really. You could certainly do worse with a few friends and a few brewskis. It's up to you, as long as you know what you're getting yourself into. I give it a pass, even if I was looking at my phone for the last 10 minutes. And that's today's review. Thanks for watching. Like and sub and all that jazz to join me in my cinematic adventures. And if you feel like commenting, let me know your favorite bloody B movie. Peace, love, and Henry Hill. And I'll see you in the next one.